Okay.
Oh, it's such a nice day.
It is.
You got something here too. Yeah, you got it.
So hey friends, welcome to Everyday Family Adventure. I'm Trent.
And I'm Siobhán.
And today we wanted to just talk to you about Gleanings for the Hungry, the ministry that we went to last week, which you can see that video right here. And the only reason why we wanted to take the time to talk about that ministry from this perspective is because we felt like we left a lot out of the other video in ways where you could get involved and maybe giving more specifics of why we went there and what it does for the world. So Gleanings for the Hungry is a nonprofit organization, and what their primary role is, what they feel like God has called them to do in this world, to us is, I think, extraordinary. And I want to see more places do things like this. They glean fruit from farmers around here.
It's from the book of Ruth, where basically Ruth's husband died and she and her mother-in-law were left alone, and they had nothing. And so they would go behind the harvesters at harvest time and they would glean, which means they would take all the leftovers, the things that the harvesters throw to the side,
the bruised
fruit, stuff that gets left behind. And so that's what Gleanings does. They go and they contact all these orchards, because the area that we're in right now is just miles and miles
with fruit.
I mean, literally, this area of California feeds the entire world. They export fruit everywhere. So, but basically, you know, there's a large percentage of stuff that has fallen from the tree. It touches the ground. The growers won't actually sell that, so they will allow Gleanings to have that produce, and it's perfectly good fruit.
It's perfectly good fruit. And what they do is they take it, and this is mainly through the summer. What we're describing happens during the summer. Now, the video we did was at the tail end of their soup season.
They cut and prepare all of the peaches, and they lay it on pallets in the sun, and they dry in the sun, and then they package them into those big 5-gallon white buckets.
Those white buckets that you saw us washing.
They'll fill that whole thing with peaches, and they'll send it to a community, to a missionary to bring to a community. And I mean, I don't know if you can imagine if you've ever been to a third world country and seen children. I spent 2 months in Kenya, and I saw these children that they were very, very thankful and lucky to get once a day a bowl of beans and corn. And that's what they ate every day. So I can just imagine what it would be like for them to get a huge bucket of dried fruit.
Right.
Something different, some different nutrition in their body.
Yeah, and I wanted them to hear Bennett's perspective on, you know, the buckets and stuff. So let me just ask you, I just want you to finish the sentence for me. Say, I like gleaning because. Like, did you make food for thousands of hungry people in the world?
Yes, I like Gleanings because I get to meet new friends.
Oh, and what else?
That I get to pour potatoes.
Who did you pour those potatoes for?
The hungry people.
The hungry people? You said on the video, the foodless, the foodless people.
The foodless people.
Well, there's a lot of foodless people out there in the world, buddy. It's funny that that's, you know, such a foreign concept to you, but I'm grateful that you chose to give and you worked hard. What about all the buckets? Did you love doing buckets? No? But you understood what they were for, right? What did they do with those buckets?
They could use their imagination to fly on a plane with it.
Yeah?
They could use it for a table. They could put the food in it.
So it was important to wash those buckets.
Yeah. I think that doing all that work helped make the world a better place.
I'm gonna scooch back just a little bit. Okay, you sit up straight though. How that all worked.
Basically, you just, it's very easy.
It's super easy, right?
Yeah. So it starts out in a box. You fill a whole box up to the top with like dried potatoes or dried mashed potatoes, anything that says potato in it.
Stuff, yeah.
And the boxes like basically just sit on top of each box.
Oh, really?
So like one box is here, here, here. And I was like wondering how that doesn't get crushed. It's so packed down in there that it won't crush it. So once that is done, they mix it all together and they dump it into these bins where you have to scoop it out and then just pour it in.
And somebody's holding the bag under there.
Somebody's holding the bag in the little
and then they put the bag
cylinder thing. Then they pass it on to the sealers. Sealers just lay it down, seal it, pass it back to the boxers. The boxers box up the bags, and then once they're done with that, and they tape the boxes shut, and then they put it all on a pallet, and once the pallet is full, they wrap it up, and then they put it in a truck or something, I don't know.
Yeah, they put it in a truck, and then it goes to, well, they put it in a container, and the truck hauls that over to the ship, which then the ship brings it overseas and other places. And
then there was a job that I didn't get to do until the end. And so they put garlic in the bags before they pass them on to you.
It's a really smelly job, huh?
Oh yes, it is very garlic smelling.
You did taste the food, right?
Mm-hmm. It was really good.
Yeah.
It helped a lot of people too.
Yeah, I think so.
Helped a lot of people.
What would you think about, like, if you were able to give that soup mix to a family that had no food? Would that do something in your heart?
God, change my heart forever, because I know that I've been serving other people.
Well, and even then you didn't see, but I mean, like, I saw in you somebody who worked really hard, and I was really proud of you. You know, that made me really joyful as a dad, to watch you come alive. But yeah, it was joyful for me as your dad to say, like, wow, I'm watching my son, like, give himself to something, right? Mm-hmm. And that's precious. You made me really proud. I love you, you know that? Like, and I wanted to just talk about, like, hunger in the world today. Like, we know in America that there's a homelessness epidemic, and there's kids in your neighborhood that go hungry and don't have anything to eat. And the one thing that's been very passionate on Siobhán and I's heart ever since we started this ministry was to really make known ministries that are feeding people. Like, that I think is very close to the heart of God. And even if you're not a Christian, come on, you have to be the most heartless person in the world to not want to give food to those who are hungry, right?
Yeah, it's a basic necessity of life.
Yeah, it really is. So we talked about a ministry a lot last year called Hand to Hand. They feed kids, you know, they feed kids throughout the summer, and they feed kids in school who are on food programs throughout the weekend. And we are very passionate about that. And so this is very close to our heart and very passionate. And so this ministry that we went to, they're giving food all over the world, in America too. What really impressed me about this organization is that you can serve. And we know a lot of people in our network that watch our channel. They're RVers, they're dreamers, they want to get out and do something. This is a place where you can go.
And for families too.
And for families
that's huge,
too.
like,
yeah, and we included that in the video. I wanted people to see that even Wrigley, our 2-year-old, was able to feel like he could serve and do something. And it's all safe. It's a very well-oiled machine.
If you're an RVer, then definitely look into stopping through. It's in a pretty, like, accessible place of California. It's beautiful out here, totally worth the stay.
Oh, it's near Sequoia.
Near Sequoia.
It's near Yosemite.
Yeah. So if you're already coming through this way, then take a little time. You know, even if it's just a couple days, or if it's a week.
They have pads, 30 amp and 50 amp, totaling to about, how many would you say? 12?
I think there's 10 or 12.
15 sites, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe something like that.
They have quite a few full hookups. I mean, you've got sewer and water as well.
Yeah, and they're very relaxed on their schedule. You know, for the most part, I had some work that I was doing, design work that I had to get done that week. And thank you for all of you guys for your concern for me being stressed out. Yeah, of course I'm stressed out. I'm working a lot. And that was a very busy week. However, it was work that was well worth it. And I'm so joyful, and I would never trade it for the world.
I think one thing that we need to mention too is that whole organization is run by people who are full-time staff there, they're completely volunteer. They're
Completely
called
volunteer.
full-time staff, but they don't get paid. So, I mean, that's including, there's a person who calls all these orchards, all these companies, and works with the companies on donating to the organization. There's people who run the kitchen, there's people who run the housekeeping, there's people who run like all these different parts of this organization. I mean, and it's a pretty huge production there. But you've got all these people that work voluntarily, and they're all raising their own missionary support.
Siobhán and I, and we have given our time, our talent, and our treasure to this ministry. We gave financially to them, we gave our time to them, and we gave the work of our hands and our talent too. Like we did two worship services. They asked us to give their special, like
the love feast.
They called it their love feast. It's like their last night, their special night. They asked Siobhán and I to speak at it, and what a treasure. It was just an awesome treasure. I just want to make an appeal to you. All right, stand right here.
In his nose.
Stand right here. We all have to be on the same plane here.
It is cool. What does it say? It is cool that they have the Junior Rangers program.
It is cool that they have the Junior Rangers program.
Okay.
We're going to do it again. Follow Mommy's lead, okay?
So, our believer bump today is from Joel Fayok. I'm not really sure how to say that. I'm sorry. You'll have to tell me how to pronounce it.
But Joel, you've been like a regular commenter for a long time, and we haven't made you our believer bump yet. So
it's about time.
It is about time.
So
okay,
Truman, what
you
does
wanna
Joel
read this?
say?
It says, it's cool that they have the Junior Rangers program.
Yes. Do you like the Junior Rangers program?
Yes.
I
like the cave one.
The cave one?
Oh,
when we went to Carlsbad Caverns?
Yeah, the one that had the curve thing, and then you get to the bottom.
Yeah.
And it's about
No, can't put that in. I have to like cut that out.
And it's about like 2 hours down.
Yeah, it did take a long time. But that was a good Junior Rangers book, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was going to close.
Yeah.
So it would be in the Junior Rangers place forever. And well, actually,
they would lock
until
us in
tomorrow.
there?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys just need to be around Truman more often.
He's a fun boy.
He's a fun boy.
Hey, how many Junior Ranger badges do you think you have now?
About 10.
You think about 10? I think you're maybe
Yeah,
right.
you might be right.
Maybe even a little bit more. I don't know. We're going to have to count them.
Well, again, Joel, thank you so much. You're our believer bump tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting and subscribing, giving us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be featured as our believer for our next video, click the believer bell right next to the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when you'll be notified when we post a video. And then send us a comment right away, and we'll get you on our believer bump.
Yeah.
So guys, our newsletter just came out. If you didn't receive that, send us an email or just subscribe, because I usually do a refresh the week later. And we're grateful to have you on with our journey. And then don't forget about our Patreon page. You can find out more there. And we're just grateful to be able to do what we do. We love it. So thank you guys for coming along the journey with us. And remember, we can make the world better.
I believe we can.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bump. All right.
All right.
About 10.
You think about 10? I think you're maybe
Yeah,
right.
you might be right.
Maybe even a little bit more. I don't know. We're going to have to count them.
Well, again, Joel, thank you so much. You're our believer bump tonight. Thank you so much, guys, for commenting and subscribing, giving us a thumbs up. And if you'd like to be featured as our believer for our next video, click the believer bell right next to the subscribe button, and you'll be notified when you'll be notified when we post a video. And then send us a comment right away, and we'll get you on our believer bump.
Yeah.
So guys, our newsletter just came out. If you didn't receive that, send us an email or just subscribe, because I usually do a refresh the week later. And we're grateful to have you on with our journey. And then don't forget about our Patreon page. You can find out more there. And we're just grateful to be able to do what we do. We love it. So thank you guys for coming along the journey with us. And remember, we can make the world better.
I believe we can.
Bye, guys.